Yo! Video games.
Speaking about changing like the storyline of the lore, did you see Twisted Metal, the TV show?
No.
No?
Who has a subscription to the cock?
Here's the thing, bro. There's so many, so many right now that I literally canceled Netflix because I'm like, there's just way too many.
Really?
Yeah, I canceled Netflix. I just have Disney because like me and my daughters, we watch.
I love how they like.
That's a good call because what Netflix is doing right now.
Yeah, and what Netflix is doing, and like we just watched all the
Disney is
the
right
Star
behind.
Wars.
They're actually making money.
Disney and Netflix are like the
yeah,
two.
Disney is going to be right.
Jesus Christ.
No, Disney's going to be right behind the whole thing where it has to be subscription.
They're
You can't
jumping
share.
their prices.
No. I mean, like Disney and Netflix are the top of the SAG strike shit.
Oh yeah, that's
they're
right.
the ones that not caving.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like they're the ultimate stop.
I canceled Netflix a while ago.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because like just Kayla and me, we watch all the Disney stuff and the Star Wars stuff.
You know, I was having this realization too, where it's like, oh, they're just pushing me to piracy, and I'm like, no, they're not even pushing me to piracy. Like, they're literally pushing me to never watching anything.
Never watching.
Never watching anything.
Like,
not even caring anymore.
That's like the end goal. You keep we keep coming out more and more and more sub services, and then they keep jacking their rates up, higher and higher and higher. What's the end goal for me? I'll just not watch it.
Yeah, and that's weird. That kind of happened to me overall. I mean, luckily, Andor happened. And Jesus Christ, I was hooked.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like all the other shows, all the other stuff that I've dabbled into and tried to get into, and this is pretty good. This is pretty good. I feel like Star Wars and because Andor almost feels like it's not Star Wars, which is why it's good.
Yep.
Star Wars and Marvel stuff had pushed me to a point where I have just lost fucking complete interest, bro. Yeah. Like, I haven't seen any. Like, am I going to see the latest movie that's with the three girls?
Latest?
I have no fucking no way.
No, it's not.
What is am I going to see any of the other shows? Did I see any of Secret Invasion?
Jesus Christ.
Oh god, I saw
Secret Invasion at some point. At some point, I remember being interested.
I saw it.
Now I'm just completely uninterested.
Did you see the whole thing?
I saw the whole.
Oh Jesus Christ! I saw the first episode, and Secret Invasion literally felt like Captain America. It felt like Winter Soldier. It felt like it had these villains, and it was almost the same thing. It was these villains doing terrorism. It literally felt like...
Was it Winter Soldier a good one, though?
Yeah, it was good, but then, like, here's the thing. The villains and everything like that in Winter Soldier were so boring. It was a girl, and they all had, like, super serum, so it was kind of boring.
Yes.
So then it literally almost felt like the same thing. It's like, oh, these people, and they're angry, and now they're doing terrorism. And it's just like...
Wait, Winter Soldier's boring. The second Captain America.
No, he's saying Captain America show. Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
It was good. Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Blocked it out of his mind.
No, because the movie's called The Winter Soldier.
No.
Right, he means Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, like, it was great, but the villains were just the weakest part of that. They were this terrorist group that you wanted to feel like, oh, you were supposed to feel something for them, but they were just awful and they were just lame.
Yeah,
and
they weren't
now,
comic book villains.
Yeah, and now this thing is literally the same shit. It's these people that are angry, and they're angry with the way things are going, and they're committing terrorism.
Well, spoiler alert, they are Skrulls, so they actually are
Skrulls.
like
but they're still not that cool because like they're mostly in their human version and shit like that.
Yeah.
So it literally feels just like that last thing. I watched the first, and I'm like, oh, this is. I watched 2 episodes, and I'm like, I don't know if I can finish this.
Do they really
whole
need
thing.
X-Men or Doctor Doom or a Fantastic Four movie or something?
Yeah.
Because this like current path of like where they're going with weirdo multiverse a lot. Is Kang is just like. And looking at like the next Loki season, where I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for the next Loki season.
Will be cool.
I'm curious how that goes, but it's still focusing entirely around
so.
like obviously Kang stuff because that's what the last.
Because I just saw the last trailer where it's about him. He's glitching out, and so they're trying to find like a way of figuring out why he's glitching out stuff. So it just seems like just random episodes of him just going through like kooky adventures and shit like that.
That was like the first one and
I'm
shit like that.
But the first one was him like learning shit about himself with another version of himself.
Yeah. Right. This one just seems like
now
he's just going through the motions.
Now it's just Loki and 1990s Ken are going on adventures with each other.
Yeah.
So Steve, you saw the whole thing, and you were like, whoa. I heard the ending was like fucking like so. The whole thing.
It was good. The last episode was good, but it didn't justify the whole shit that I had to go through to get to that point.
Yeah, I see.
Like I literally could have just watched the last episode and been completely fine.
Wow. And here's the thing. Secret Invasion in the comics was amazing, bro.
I didn't know.
Secret Invasion in the comics was freaking fire, one of the best storylines, and they just shit on it because like literally because they can't really use a lot of the comic book characters and a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
And it was insane. The comic book was super wild.
Yeah.
Black Widow was in it. She literally came up with like one of the best ways to like, who's a Skrull? Oh, let me see. Boom, just shoots people.
Oh, yeah.
And right, like, oh, you're green blood. That's a Skrull.
Damn.
Like nobody could, not even fucking Doctor Strange with his magic could tell who was a Skrull.
Wow.
Nobody. So they were like, how in the fuck are we gonna tell? Like they had like
not even
Mr. Fantastic.
Not even other Skrulls can tell when another Skrull is a Skrull.
Like when they did, like they. Dude, not even fucking Doctor Strange, who has like
I know,
physical
Doctor
thing.
Strange, yeah.
And then like it was Mr. Fantastic who was like working on something, and they kidnapped him.
Oh,
and
you're
took
talking
him
about
out.
Secret Wars then, or it's getting to that, right? The
comics.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion, yeah. So literally, it was just like, oh, like so. What's her face? Black Widow's like, oh, here's an easy way. She just shoots people, and like then like they figured out it was crazy. It was like but it was way more deep and like it involved and like you find out this person was a Skrull and it like
I'm just trying to think, what do we have to look forward to in the MCU at this point?
Blade.
Blade, no.
Blade is,
far out.
dude,
Far out.
But I've been hearing some stuff about the production. That is it is a train wreck right now.
I'm not surprised. It's
Yeah.
far out.
Blade, right?
The director bailed.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It
That's
is
a bad sign.
train wreck
You
right now.
hear creative leads like bailing, like producers and executive producers and directors.
It's bad.
That's not good.
And see, here's the thing: like, there's not superhero.
Deadpool. Okay,
Yeah,
Deadpool. we're looking for.
Yeah, Deadpool.
100%.
Ryan Reynolds has that shit by the balls.
Yeah,
You kind of assume that he won't make another Deadpool unless he just gets to run the
Unless
show.
it's bangerific. But here's the thing: like,
Spider-Man 4.
here's the thing. There's not superhero fatigue. It's just shitty writing fatigue.
100%.
Because Into the Spider-Verse will show you
Hey,
Yeah, no.
how
100%.
fucking good it can be.
And I was
How
about to
fucking
say,
good it can
Chad
be.
was like, "What about
There's no-
Spider-Verse though?"
No.
I almost don't count it.
Yeah.
I feel like Spider-Verse 2 is in its own unique, like sort of like universe.
Yeah,
LOL.
for sure.
But
There's no fatigue.
there is no
Spider-Verse
fatigue.
shows you.
The movie was fucking incredible, and it has
Incredible.
more Spider-Man, more superheroes than anything ever in
Yes.
it. And it like it's the entire point of the entire movie. The movies just aren't as good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like long story short, the movies just like they do not have the same
Yeah.
like tact as the old films.
No.
And it definitely feels like a shit ton of studio interference.
Yes.
and
They
shit.
blew,
Every-
I think they blew their load. I really do. I think Endgame it was too much.
Well, I think it was fine to leave it at Endgame.
And, like,
100%.
and
It
here's
should have
the-
been.
And they should have just done new universe shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. 'Cause,
Endgame should have
where
been
do you
Endgame.
go from there,
You
right?
can't. They blew their load.
Like, of course, the multiverse shit gets crazy.
It's cute, but I don't think they're writing it correctly. I don't
No.
think they're writing it correctly at all. I think they're just.
It's not nearly as cohesive as it felt like the old ones were.
No, yeah.
Yep.
It just wasn't cohesive. I couldn't believe that, like, the end of, like, the Doctor Strange movie, it just felt like, oh, so we're just back to normal?
Yeah, it's over.
Nothing really changes?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's really
If
weird,
you go to
dude.
Secret Wars, that shit gets hella crazy. But the thing is, they haven't built up on it because like there's no X-Men.
And I remember
They
I
teased
was
X-Men.
hearing a critic talk about this.
Yeah.
He said when you introduce the multiverse, the stakes are no longer there because you can just go to another universe and grab
Right.
another
No,
version
but
of
like
the
when
character.
Secret Wars,
That's,
it's
So-
like
that's one way.
So
of
it
looking
throws
at it,
away
yeah.
the ability to really be
The emotional
concerned-
attachment.
the emotional attachment to a character.
Because Iron Man's
that
just alive
dies or
out,
something like that.
and Iron Man's just alive out over there.
Yeah, he's just
no,
alive
but
over
here's the
there,
thing,
over
like,
there.
Secret,
It's
like
fine.
the universes are imploding, and it's getting to a point where there's like one universe, and nothing happens, and it everything is dead. Everything is fucking dead, and like with the whole thing. And now every universe is trying to figure out how the fuck do we stop these incursions? How do we stop it? And you get like fucking crazy shit. Like if they went as deep in the comic book, you would literally get DC versus Marvel. They literally had DC versus Marvel in that whole series. But they changed up the names. And
Here's
shit like that.
here's my take.
Yeah.
They are trying to find a way to one up the Thanos threat.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it feels like they're
Trying too hard.
It feels like, okay, so you're trying to like really expand this to the to the thing that what was the thing that actually made Marvel movies interesting? Interpersonal stories of characters going through struggles that everybody does.
Yeah.
Now it's like, oh, but Loki is traveling through a billion universes and doing all this shit. What made Spider-Man and Spider-Verse 2 so good? It still boils down to Miles Morales is dealing with all this multiverse bullshit, right? And a billion Spider-Mans, but he's doing what he believes is fucking right.
Yes.
Like, and it's still the movie aggressively tries to make it personal, and it spends a lot of time, like 45 minutes, on making the personal shit, while a lot of other Marvel shit is trying to go big, expansive, make it bigger, make it more expensive. We gotta one up the previous shit. It almost just needs to be reset. Like, fuck it all. Like, let's just go back to, like, simple stories. Let's just talk about Magneto and Professor X or some shit.
Yeah. And that's why, like, the previous universe was so, like, engaging, because you really connected with these characters and, like...
Because they had real problems.
Right? And yeah, like, now...
The problems
like,
weren't space laser all the time.
Like,
you know?
It was, No, that's fair.
Funny,
That's fair. It's 100%.
Yeah, I think at this point, maybe Miles Morales should have its own multiverse, you know, like its own, like...
It practically does.
It does.
It practically exists.
I've been talking about Madam Web for, like, a long time, man. I think
Madam Web's
Web,
coming up the next one.
I think Madam Web would be a great way to introduce, like, a whole fucking a universe within the Spider-Verse, and then Sony can be that nice rival to freaking the MCU, Disney's MCU.
Hey, here's the crazy thing. You know what's wild? Like, Sony had to give in to Marvel because all their Spider-Man movies were sucking ass.
Yeah, they were doing
right.
terrible.
They were doing like, for a Spider-Man movie, they were reviewing poorly and not making that much money.
Yeah.
So they said, "Fine, you know what, Marvel, let's team up. You can have Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You'll do the movies, and we'll share."
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden, Sony fucking just says, "Hey, you know what? We'll make our Miles Morales, and without Disney, without anything, and their shits all over every single thing."
So thinking about universes and how studios tend to overdo this thing, right? You know what I heard about? Barbie.
Yes.
Barbie comes out.
Oh yeah,
sends
their own MCU.
Yeah.
They're doing an MCU of Barbie, but it's not Barbie. It's the games. It's Mattel. Mattel. So you're gonna get an Uno movie. You're gonna get a fucking Monopoly movie.
They're already saying that they want to do their own
fucking MCU,
universe.
right?
Oh my God,
and I'm
Jesus.
like, oh no, they're not understanding this. It's like, look, Barbie was a good movie because it had good storytelling, right? It was.
Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
So,
Jesus.
So
good.
these two guys, let's go get together and fucking watch this movie.
Simmons saw it. Oh, you didn't? Okay,
didn't.
no. I would love to see it.
Only
again.
me and Max
I would
saw it.
fucking love to see it again. So
Let's go.
if we went to our usual theater, I would just let me know.
See, you laugh at the idea of an Uno movie, but they're literally doing that. We've already had an emoji movie.
Transformers was Hasbro, Chad.
Yes.
And Hasbro already tried to do that with Battleship or some shit.
Oh, that's right. Rihanna.
No.
Rihanna was Battleship.
Spoilers. The Transformers that came out this month, Rise of the Beast.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
G.I. Joe's in it.
Booyah!
At the end of the movie, apparently. At the end of the movie, like
That's kind of
the
sick.
main human dude like gets a thing. He's like, "Hey, like, we want you to sign this paper. This is G.I. Joe on it."
That's kind of sick.
No, I know. Spoiler. I mean, it's Simmons went for it. I would
Nobody fucking watched it.
I watched it.
It's long gone from theaters.
You watched the Transformers movie? Of course.
Are you talking about that?
That's actually kind of sick.
Yeah,
That's what I said. Like, that's kind of cool. I mean, that was
But here's
definitely
the
a
thing.
thing.
Here's the thing. We already had G.I. Joe.
Yeah, we had a couple of shitty G.I. Joe
Yeah,
movies.
we had The
Shitty
Rock,
Joes.
and then we had Marlon Wayans.
It's their bicycle kid.
And we also had Snake Eyes. So
All these movies nobody watched.
But did you
I saw Snake Eyes.
yeah, but you like
When you put them together, it's like
you
peanut butter and jelly.
the Transformers movie.
it was good.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I felt it was kind of forgettable. It felt like Michael Bay-ish. Like it did.
I think to me it was better than Michael. Michael Bay has no substance. Michael Bay.
A lot of people. Okay, so here's the thing about Michael Bay. The robots have so much metal and stuff on that. When they do the fight stuff like that, it becomes incoherent, right?
It's jarring.
It's jarring. Well, I'm looking at the fight scenes in this movie. It's the same shit. I could not tell what
but
the fuck
there's
was
more
happening.
substance.
There's more shit like
Michael
that.
Bay's like,
And-
I'm under the balls of the Devastator.
Yes, we know that. Another thing that was super.
Oh no!
But even then, the fight
Jesus
scenes in
Christ.
here were just kind of like there's this metal and shit happening.
So
all
you
over
mean the
place.
fight scenes? Well, how was the story?
The story was
It was okay, serviceable.
It was meh.
Because the story in all the Michael Bay movies is fucking awful.
Yeah.
But relatively, like the filmmaking quality of Michael Bay movies is really high because the guy understands what to put in a picture.
Yes, he does. He understands.
So you're just saying the fight scenes weren't well choreographed or shot.
Right, and the story was kind of meh. Like it was just
passable.
It was basic bitch shit.
It's kind of what Bumblebee felt like in the end.
But the thing that really killed it for me was the fact, and I know it's very minuscule, and I know I'm being very picky, but when they transforms, they didn't do the sound.
Hey.
Oh, really?
They did not do the sound when they transformed.
It makes big clunking noises? Clank, 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 clank.
No fucking none of that.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I could not believe it. I was livid. I was like, nah, I can't. But the actors were cool, and you know the scenes that they had were kind of dope. But just it was a meh overall. So, but hey, G.I. Joe at the end, fuck it. Give us G.I. Joe X Transformers all day, every day. I need my Destro. I need my Xanatos?
Gargoyles. Tamox and
Toblak? Tamox and Tingledorf? Zomax and Tamok. Wait, no. Tamox and...
No, not Zartan.
No, Zartan. God, come on. There's got to be some G.I. Joe fans in there. Tamox and Tamox.
Xanax
Tamox
and Trogdor?
The twins, bro.
Tamox and Zorak.
There was a game that just came out on Steam.
Cobra Twins.
Damn it, chat. I can't believe you guys are fake fans.
What's the guy?
Oh, Strong Bad game.
Strong Bad game just came out.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like,
Tamox
and Zamox.
Where is this?
The same name forward and backwards.
Yeah, Tamox and Zamox.
Tamox and Zamox.
Yeah, Tamox
Who
and
even
Zamox.
remembers
Us?
us?
It was so hard to say because literally it's the same name forward. Tomax and Zamox.
Yeah, I mean, that was the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like what other movies I'm looking forward to this
These
year,
guys.
and it's probably
You know what movie's really good? Turtles.
Was it really
Everyone
good?
says that. Everyone
Bro,
says
we
that.
need to get together. We haven't watched the movie. The
Yeah, we
four
need
of
to
us
go.
in
We
a
need to
hot minute.
Everyone's saying that.
go. We need to go double date like Barbie and then Ninja Turtles or something.
Turtles
like
is
that.
good. I've seen it twice. I'll see it again.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You've seen Barbie.
I'd be willing and ready to see Barbie
Flash,
again.
Dude, I was so disappointed.
I saw Flash.
Yeah,
It
I
was-
saw Flash.
I saw so many out of context scenes from Flash that I feel like I've seen the whole movie. Of babies falling out of cities, skyscrapers, and shit,
weird.
and
that was
like
so weird.
I like what the fuck is this film?
I had
And then
no idea.
weird CG Henry Cavill and CG, you know.
Oh my God, Christopher Reeve.
Christopher Reeve CG.
Yeah,
and, like,
and their little like
ooh.
Christmas ornament universes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nicolas Cage was there.
Nicolas Cage Superman was in it.
Superman was
Yes,
there.
Yeah.
That was pretty
So
dope.
is the movie worth? Kenny said the movie's worth watching just for like
Nostalgia reasons.
cool shit.
And then, yeah, he's not wrong.
But
He's
to
not
me,
wrong.
like
There you go.
if nostalgia doesn't pay off in a way that's like interesting, I'll just go watch the old shit because the
Yeah.
old shit's good because it's good.
But you'll never get to see Nicolas Cage in a Superman.
Well, not Nicolas
I don't give a
Cage,
shit,
dude.
though.
His hair is wavy, bro. It's wavy, and he punches something. What does he punch?
Spider, because that's what the movie was.
Right,
Gonna be
he
about
punches
him.
a giant
He was
spider.
gonna fight a giant spider. Like it was planned. There's
Really?
a lot of the script. There was like artwork.
Steve
of
has
the
no
spider.
idea. He has a whole Kevin Smith.
No. I saw
thing
there
to
is
listen
a
to.
guy that reviewed the shit. I mean, he went in deep lore of explaining everything and what went wrong.
Yes.
Of all that shit. It was the funniest fucking story. It was that and
But Michael Keaton was fucking awesome, though.
You did a good job.
He did a good job.
Yeah, he did a good
Michael Keaton as Batman, and like seeing that shit again. Oh, that's what I said. It was in the nostalgia. Da 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 da. When he's coming out and like Michael Keaton's doing the Michael Keaton shit and like fighting. I'm like, a little kid again. Like that's what made it worth it. The movie, yeah, it has its problems and like some CGs like kind of like bullshit. But when you see Michael Keaton, da 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 da, you're like, I'm a kid again.
So I wanna. Does anybody here know anything about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ronin
Yeah, the
comic
last
book?
Ronin.
Well,
Yeah.
now there's a
They're
game.
making a game out of it too.
Right, and freaking Dame Falcon was telling me about it, and I am completely clueless. Is the comic book really that good?
Yes.
Like I don't
Yes.
know anything about it.
My girlfriend just read it.
Yeah,
it's good, but like, there's a lot to unpack in it, and that's why apparently there's like a prequel, and then there's going to be like a follow up that they announced at Comic-Con, just because like stuff happens so quickly. in it.
In the comic book.
Yeah,
Yes.
in the it's a trade paperback. It's like a single set story.
Okay, so it's not like a bunch of different series and shit like that.
No,
just one
it's
story.
like it's a self-contained story.
Okay, yeah. No, Dame was telling me about it. I'm like, I don't understand what's happening here. So all the turtles are dead, and now it's just Mikey, and he's going around kicking everybody's ass, and he's a badass.
You had to get
Fucking-
serious real quick.
Right? So, and I literally saw that with the latest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the animated one.
Cybernetic, thank you.
The one where Raph is the leader, the big,
Yes.
I forgot the name of it. But they did that. They literally did that where it's a future.
It's not a spoiler. It's in the fucking cover of the goddamn comic, bro.
Well, it was.
It's like in the cover of the comic.
No,
it's got all the 4 fucking.
You don't
bands.
know who the Last Ronin is initially for a little bit.
Oh, okay, well, whatever.
But everyone knows now at this point.
Whatever. Yeah, whatever. I mean, if you read the comic book, whatever.
Yeah.
Which I think makes it interesting.
Sure.
Because
you don't know which turtle it is.
But then the turtle makes it interesting because he's the one who had to really nut up.
Right, he had to grow up in that, which was in the animated series movie thing. So I guess I mean I don't know anything about it. Again, I don't have an attachment to the turtles. I have an attachment to Shredder. I think Shredder's fucking dope.
I'm kind of the same way. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think Shredder is cool, but
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles in passing was the thing that everybody else was into, which you're just kind of into as well.
Yeah, it was like cool.
I mean, I'll say this.
I was definitely that was Transformers for me.
Yeah.
I think the new movie takes some really wild swings because it's like a really big
Adult.
It's a reimagining.
It's an adult-like version.
No, it's not. It's a reimagining.
Not Mutant Mayhem. Last Ronin is, but like.
Yes, I'm talking about Ronin.
Mutant Mayhem, the movie, takes some wild swings with it, and I think it really pays off. Like some of the stuff they changed, some of the really big canon stuff, but it's in service of storytelling because we have a really big central theme message, and all the changes, like all the deep lore changes, are done in service
of
having
an actual
that strong
payoff.
central message.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good.
I actually don't know the villain of Mutant Mayhem, so nobody say anything, please. Thank you very much. I don't know the villain or what.
Fantastic. I'll say that.
Really?
The less you know, the better. More fun.
Okay, there you go.
Let's see.
Actually, great.
Yeah.
Kenny looks it up.
No, I'm not looking up the villain. I'm looking up a thing. And
Time
how much
frame?
time we have to watch a movie.
That's true.
That's literally like, hey, we could watch this movie on this thing before this thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think the only other movie I'm actually looking forward to this year is Dune 2.
Yeah.
Dune 2.
We could technically do Tuesday. Like Tuesday's the cheap day where everything's like $5.
I might not. It's JJ's birthday.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So I might not be able to make it.
Monday? Because
Maybe.
then Wednesday we're gonna go get pizza.
Yeah.
We're getting pizza Wednesday, so we can't really do it Wednesday.
Was it Dune if it doesn't get delayed?
Yeah. Actually, good point. Well, all the principle would have been done. All the writing would have been done.
Well, the movie's in the can. They're just like, we need to maybe stretch it out because there won't be anything to release next year. Because everyone's still on strike.
Yeah.
So the theory is that they might start delaying all their holiday movies out.
That's a good point.
There's going to be a huge hiatus of movies.
We're not feeling it right now. This is like
I'm not feeling it now.
So the 2008-2009 writers' strike lasted like 100 days, and that was huge. Took like years to eventually recover. We have eclipsed that by a lot.
Yep.
It's those executives need more money.
Well, it's not they don't want to need more money. They just want to keep their money.
No, but
they want to keep the money and they don't want to share. They're like,
how are they supposed to live with hundreds of millions of dollars, man?
I know, and I feel really bad for the executives.
I feel bad.
What about Blue Beetle?
No, but here's the thing:
zero interest.
Nope. Wow.
What's going to happen when one executive, his yacht doesn't have a yacht?
What's
the other guy? What the other executives are going to laugh at him?
I heard that if they
when his yacht doesn't have a helicopter fucking landing strip.
I heard that if the executives gave up even like 2% of their hundreds of millions of dollars that they earn every year, that the strike would be over just with 2% of their yearly salary. And I thought, like, man, how could you ever give up 2%?
Like, what would they do? What would they do?
They'd be on the street. Their family would be poor and dying.
Like
I can't imagine.
2 yachts instead of 3. What kind of nightmare scenario are we thinking?
Right.
Or they can't buy another island. Like,
right.
I feel really bad for the executives.
That's the thing that's frustrating to me about it, where they're like, why do you want to punish people for being successful, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what difference does it fucking make if you made 25 to 27 or 30 million? Like, if you brought home 30 million one year and then the next year you brought home 25, how much different is your fucking life?
Yeah.
Is your data? It's probably not different at all. But you know what that 5 million would do? Change the lives of many people below you.
But then here's the thing.
No,
what are those executives?
don't want to punish being successful.
I gotta. One of the somebody actually recorded one of the executives actually talking about this stuff, And he said, "Yeah, we'll just wait him out." He literally said that. He said,
that was on Bob Iger.
Yeah,
No, they literally said, "We'll wait him out till they don't have a home to
go do it." Yeah, they said they won't be able to pay for their rent.
Just fucking Captain Planet comic,
right? Like it was insane. It was like
pay for this Captain Planet.
He literally is like, "Yeah, just wait him out. Like they won't be able to pay for their apartments pretty soon, so we'll just wait him out."
Until all the actors started actually like donating millions of dollars
to make sure that
the SAG efforts so that they can actually pay people and have them eat and pay their rent.
What the Price is Right guy who was Drew Carey.
Oh.
Drew Carey's been destroying it like with helping everybody.
Oh yeah.
Drew Carey, like the Bob's Big
The Rock.
The Rock also made a huge donation.
Rock?
Yes, Kenny. The Rock.
Fuck it. I did. You know what?
Give him a round of applause, Kenny. Hey, there you go. That's what I like to see.
The Rock, 100%.
Yes.
The Rock, let's fucking go,
That's
bro.
what I'm talking about.
Good shit. I'll give credit where credit is due.
Good.
If The Rock's doing that shit,
Because he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. His
He's a
movies,
great guy.
I don't know, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like shit. But The Rock being a good guy, let's go,
Rock is a good guy.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck yeah.
And here's the thing is that being around this industry, like I have people like literally in my direct family that are being affected by this that are not actors. So you have to understand this does not just affect like writers. This stagnation puts the entire industry at a complete standstill, even worse than COVID.
Yeah,
even worse than COVID.
Right,
Yeah.
and
Because at least
it doesn't even need to be.
Yes, and it doesn't even need to be.
This is not like a virus is wrecking the planet. This is just like, I don't want to share.
Yes, that's all it is. It's something that you could easily change. You refuse to, though.
Here's the thing. It's not only do they want to share, they want to get even greedier with like fucking
so now they're like
AI
charging you
and other shit.
Yeah, now they're like trying to replace people with literally just robot shit, and they're trying to charge you more for Disney Plus and Netflix and no password sharing. They're trying to they're trying to have all their cake and eat it too.
Yeah, exactly. And they're
Jesus
basically
Christ.
making sure that I won't eat any cake. I just won't watch anything.
Yeah. So it's fucking painfully obvious, and people aren't going to stand for it anymore.
I have decades of anime to catch up on if I really need to.
And now it's to a point where like just keep holding out. Like eventually they're not going to be able to fucking make movies.
Greedier than that. Yes, it's insane. Yeah.
But yes, it boils down to not just actors, not just writers, like everybody. Like the industry isn't just full of actors and writers and special effects crews. There's a billion different other operational elements that go into making film or shows or everything like that. And they are all stuck. Like they are all, it's an absolute shit ton of jobs that are just fucking frozen right now.
But the yachts, man, it's insane.
But the executives, but I understand because those few executives need to make hundreds of millions of dollars a year, and they need to get paid out.
We should have like a Sally. We should have a Sally Struthers fucking commercial.
Here's the thing with the execs. Yeah. Again, it's not one person paying them; it's investors, right? Yeah. So investors are saying, okay, we're going to invest in, let's say, Sony Music, or not Sony Music, but like Sony Entertainment, right?
Wall Street has really fucked this whole thing.
So when you have investors that are investing in somebody to make good movies, they're going to throw a bunch of money at that guy so that he makes good movies, or that he can ensure that that particular company makes good movies. When that investor invests in said CEO to do that, and he doesn't do that, they're going to look for the guy over there that can do it. They're going to throw all the money at that guy. All of these studio execs and CEOs are going to charge more depending on how well they can do that job. Obviously, they're worth more. It's okay to say that. They are worth more. But at a certain point, how much money is worth it when the people who are still making the actual product that he's making sure is making a lot of money, it doesn't go to these people as well. The investors don't see those people here. They only see that guy is the one that made all these studios.
Well, and this just
they don't really recognize that the other people are there too.
It just boils down to like the huge issue. It's like, okay, year over year, our profit is incredible. Yeah. Right. Over our returns, like this is how much money we made in profit. Like outside of operational expenditures, where did all that profit go? To CEOs.
Yeah.
Yes.
It went to them.
And the shareholders.
So where did all that money go for the previous year? Oh no, I spent it on yachts.
On yachts.
And there's the problem.
Yeah.
Like why did not all of that extra profit go into making a better company?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, why didn't it go into raises?
Why did it not go
Just
into,
a
like-
better company.
Why did it not go to making it better? No, it just went to the top.
You want to know why? Because, and I've talked about this before, these CEOs, their job is to make sure how do you make profit and spend less money. That is their job.
Right.
Like, how do you make a profit without
their
spending
job
money?
is to their shareholders to make more
profit,
money year over year.
Yes.
Make more money than last year.
You got
So the people, the shareholders get their dividends. They get
Yes.
more money, so everyone's happy.
You-
And this is what happened with Activision. They just made more money
yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
And it would just go back to the shareholders.
You gotta
Bobby, yeah.
you gotta look at like Jeff Bezos. You know what I mean? Like, dude, he's like one of the richest people in the world because he made a successful company from nothing. And they look at that and it's like, hey, you're worth more than what you know that what you were previously available for. But he didn't do it himself. You actually had an entire freaking company of people putting together Amazon in order to make what Amazon is today. But because he led it to that particular, status, they're the ones that said, just throw the money at him so he can keep making us more money.
Well, it's like the idea that, like, all the ill content that came out of people working on COD and stuff like that, or
Yes.
other games, and like shareholders didn't care.
Yeah,
because they were making more money every year. Bobby doesn't go anywhere because Bobby makes more money each year.
I think
which means the shareholders get money because they don't see.
I think that
doesn't matter how badly run the company.
How much is Bobby really doing, bro?
You got it. Hey,
is he sitting at the top and shit like that?
Hey, you can't knock it.
He came in at a point when they were at their lowest,
Yes.
and he
built the company good.
He built them up to being the biggest.
I understand.
So-
I understand that. Hey, look, you made the company millions of dollars and you made it profitable, but at the end of the day, where is the money supposed to be going so that the company or said business continues working even when you're not there? They don't really see that far ahead. They assume that if we keep throwing money at said CEO, he'll just stay there and he'll keep making us more millions.
That's the thing. It's like any movie, really. Like,
yeah,
one movie has to do good then they'll greenlight all the other movies. Where it's like this CEO or this person at the top, he gets to stay because they make money.
Money, yes.
The minute they start having a bad year, or maybe God forbid 2 bad years in a row,
you're gone, bro.
Then they're gone.
And look what happens to coaches in football teams. You losing season?
Disney guy, he's gone.
Yeah, it does. It actually happened
before Disney guy was out because they were down a whole bunch of profit.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe because the movie sucks. I don't know. Maybe
it was the theme parks were fucking like shitty,
terrible. Like you have to have somebody that can actually run things correctly, but at the same time, you have to find a balance. And I think the shareholders, and I'm putting this on them because shareholders are having a huge disconnect between the people that are making the product and opposed to the people who are actually
not always.
It's almost like these megalo corporations are too fucking big.
You think so?
Yeah, right?
It's almost like these. It's almost like the old sci-fi aspect of megacorps was an old sci-fi thing. I'm glad that's not the actual future. Oh fuck,
Ultra Tech.
Oh fuck, Ultra Tech and megacorps.
Oh, God. Ultra Tech, literally Killer Instincts, a bunch of corporations creating champions to be like the best corporation.
Yeah.